Hello there, Kyle Katarn here. Trailer came out a few days ago, had my mind sufficiently blown. I have secured my pre-order tickets, and it is time for the Star Wars The Last Jedi trailer breakdown. So in this first shot, we see Kylo Ren. I believe he's on board the Supremacy, Supreme Leader Snoke's giant flagship that we heard about a couple months ago. If you look through the windows behind him, you can see that there's production going on, manufacturing weapons of war, including original trilogy AT-ATs, not the new Guerrilla Walkers that we see in the trailer. Speaking of the AT-M6 Guerrilla Walkers, we see them in the second shot of the trailer on the planet of Crate, walking alongside the original Walkers. And above, you can see Kylo Ren's command shuttle. The next shot shows Kylo Ren flanked by either flame troopers or snow troopers. He's not wearing a mask, and he appears to be walking over dried lava. This makes me think that Kylo Ren is on Mustafar. Last year it was made known through Rogue One that Darth Vader in fact has a castle on Mustafar. Could Kylo Ren be exploring his grandfather's castle, looking for more Sith artifacts? This next shot takes place in Snoke's throne room, and judging by the fact that Kylo still has his helmet, I'd say it's early on in the movie. Visible are the feet of two Praetorian guards, making this what I can only assume a face-to-face meeting between Kylo and Snoke. Now in this shot, you can see that Luke still has his original cybernetic hand from Return of the Jedi. It still has the damage caused by a stray blaster bolt on his battle in the sail barge. We've seen this tree before in one of the leaked set images from the Pinewood set. I believe this tree will play a role similar to the cave on Dagobah that was strong in the Force. Which brings us to these books being held inside the tree. Now I believe that these are the Journal of the Wills. Now, the Journal of the Wills are a legendary record of events in the galaxy. In fact, the entire narrative of Star Wars as we know it was supposed to be narrated to a Keeper of the Wills by R2-D2 100 years after the Battle of Endor. We see Rey training on the island, and Luke is clearly unsettled by her incredible power. Luke tells Rey that he's seen this kind of power only once before, and we know that he's referring to young Ben Solo. I think it's a safe bet that we'll get a lot more background surrounding Ben Solo and Luke's original Jedi Academy. Then we see Kylo Ren again, in the elevator of a First Order ship, still wearing the outfit from The Force Awakens. He has some kind of medical patch applied to his scar, probably to help it heal, which also indicates to us that this is pretty fresh after his battle with Rey. We see him punching a wall, possibly destroying his mask in the process. In this next shot, we get our first good look at the Raddus, a Resistance heavy cruiser named after the heroic Admiral Raddus. In this shot, we also see what appears to be an exploding GR-75 transport, and some sort of upgraded Nebulon B frigate, maybe a Nebulon C. We see that Kylo is an ace fighter pilot just like his dad and his grandpa. And on the bridge of the Raddus, not only do we see General Leia for the first time, but we also can see Admiral Akbar over her shoulder. Kylo seems to be wrestling with himself on whether or not to pull the trigger. However, I do not believe that Leia will die in this scene, because I believe this scene to be very early on in the movie and the Battle of Crate to be at the end of the movie, and Leia is seen on the planet of Crate. Speaking of Crate, that's where I think we are in this shot. The Falcon is flying through a subterranean cavern that I believe is on the planet Crate. Crate has been confirmed as a salt planet and has a white surface with bright red colored soil underneath. I believe that these crystals contribute to the color of that soil. While not a major breakthrough, the fact that there's a Porg in the cockpit of the Falcon means that Chewie will in fact be leaving Ahch-To and doing some more stuff, which we kinda already knew. In this shot, we see the special afterburner retrofitted onto the T-70 X-Wing that Poe flies around. When he steals the TIE Fighter in The Force Awakens, he comments on how much faster they are. This is his way of leveling the playing field as we see him take on a First Order Dreadnought. It seems that Finn and Captain Phasma are going to have round 2 of their showdown in what appears to be an Imperial hangar, very similar to the one that Kylo Ren was overseeing in the first shot of the trailer. And here we get our first look at the First Order Dreadnought, otherwise known as a Mandator 4 class Star Destroyer. Next, we see one of those awesome crystalline foxes on Crate's surface, followed by a very traditionally Star Wars shot of Leia staring out an open hangar into a very alien vista. This adds to my theory of Leia surviving that space assault, which all indicators would place at the beginning of the movie. Next, we see Rey diving into and subsequently climbing out of some water, with Luke looking rather disapproving. Could she be going against his wishes by doing this? We see Finn dressed as an Imperial officer marching undercover. Pretty sure this is the same large hangar where Finn and Phasma later fight. More footage of the Battle of Crate. This action seems to be pretty high stakes, and I'm willing to bet that this will conclude the third act. The main question in my mind when I look at this last piece of footage is this real? Is Snoke, in fact, terrorizing Rey from the security of his throne room aboard the Supremacy? Or is he somehow in her mind and this is a terrorizing hallucination? Now, these last two shots are clearly misdirection on the part of the director. Rey has a painted wall behind her in two-tone gray and red, and Kylo is in an open space with flames behind him. You could argue that the lighting on their faces is very similar, but literally everything about the background is different. And there you have it, everything I was able to figure out from the Star Wars The Last Jedi trailer in the last few days. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this trailer breakdown. Check out my other videos for more awesome Star Wars goodness. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment if you have something to say, and as always, may the Force be with you.